initially, I wasn't going to do a video about this, but I don't have a choice. This video may be long, and it may even be more than one video. But after the experience that I just had, and me, just listen. Just listen. So, a couple of weeks ago, went out of town, took my mom and my 2 children to Myrtle Beach. Trip we often take. As I'm going to Myrtle Beach, I get an inbox message, or no, not even an inbox message. I get a comment on one of my videos from a person who has regularly followed me for like over a year. He's a male. We live in the same, not city, but we in Atlanta. Atlanta encompasses, or Metro Atlanta encompasses many cities. We both in Metro Atlanta. This man is a married man at the time that he begins to comment on my videos, and nothing at all goes left. It's not disrespectful. It's not any of that. He comments on my videos. I've even asked him about how someone can get into the line of work that he does. Nothing. When I tell you, all innocent, all innocent. Anytime I saw his videos that came up on my For You page, never went to his page looking at his videos or anything like that. Anytime I saw his videos that came up on my For You page, especially if they involved his wife, I would speak. I think they had like an anniversary video where I wished them a happy anniversary. Didn't see this man in that way whatsoever. He was just a TikTok follower. Until one day, he put in my comments on that particular video that when I was going out of town that he commented on, he made it very clear that he was no longer married, single, and was basically had moved actually to the city of Atlanta. And I was like, wait a minute. Whoa, where'd that come from? Because I thought this man was happily married. When the videos that I would see of him and his wife up on his For You page as late as early part of last year, everything looked good to me. But hey, listen, I don't know y'all like that. I'm just going by what you show me and some of the things that you told me. And I was really cheering loud for them because I've always been an online dater. And when online dating first came out many, many, many years ago, people shunned me so bad about it, only for us to be all these years later. And that's how people are meeting people left and right. And it's the norm. And when I tell you people were shunning me back in the day, I went through it because I chose to online date. So the fact that he had met his wife in that way and they had what appeared to be a happy marriage, I was all for it. I was like, I love it when people show that this actually can work, because back in the day, they was taking me up through there saying it was weird. You don't do that. Them people on there, they gonna unalive you. It was bad. So when I see it actually work out and have success, I'm always cheering for them. Plus, I love love. Even though I'm not married, I'm not in a relationship, I love love. So I'm always cheering for people who find it. So when this man says that now he's single and he makes it very clear that he is, I inbox him. Not because I'm looking to date him, simply because I'm like, wait a minute, where does this come from? Because I was cheering for y'all. And so he was like, yeah, that's what it is. Told me what it was or whatever. And he was like, and now I done moved to the city. I'm in Atlanta and I'm dating, but the options ain't optioning. And if you know somebody who is even a little bit sane, let me know. And I said, well, you got to give me more. You got to give me more than them being sane or whatever that you want to date them, because I do have some single friends or whatever. I'm not looking to date because I have made it very clear. And if you go and look at my videos, I'm like, I'm not dating. I'm good. When I tell you, God had put me in a place to be so good, I was so good. So I wasn't looking for me, but he was. So he went on to be like, yeah, but can I have your number? I've followed you, yada, yada, yada. We were cool. So I was like, I gave him the number. But then when I tell y'all I was so in a good place of I'm not dating, I'm good on that, I gave this man my number only for him. And mind you, I did not even know his real name because his real name is not posted on TikTok or whatever. So I didn't even know his real name. And so I gave this man my number. I swear, within minutes, he texted me and said his name or whatever. And I was like, who the hell is this? Because when I tell you, over my head, when I tell you I was not, I've been good on dating, like very good on dating. So when I gave this man my number, it went in one ear, out the other. I wasn't thinking nothing about it. He texted me within minutes, and I was like, well, who in the world is this? That goes to show. It was whatever for me. So I come to the realization, oh, this is the dude from TikTok or whatever. Sure, you just gave him your number. So we began conversing, texting. It moved to phone calls. For the last 2 weeks, it has been amazing. Amazing conversations, like all the time. Amazing. But I'm not going to say that there weren't things that were like sticking out to me. And I was praying. Lord, because listen, I'm good. I've been good. Don't bring nobody in my life or don't allow the devil to bring anybody in my life that's here to destroy anything, distract anything. I don't want none of that. I have been good. My children are happy. My mom's happy. We good in the same house. I'm financially okay. Listen, life for me is good. I don't need this foolishness. But me and him talking. Agreed to go ahead and go out on a date. He set it up. He texted last week, asked me what I was doing this coming Wednesday, which was yesterday. He had a restaurant. It's hard to get reservations there. He was able to get us a reservation. I was going to meet him there. And then it switched up to we were going to do a double date with a friend group of mine. He was okay with it. I kept asking, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do that? Because we're just now meeting. And if you don't want to do it, I get it. But he was okay with it. But it still ended up being only me and him, which was fine. Because I also thought that was the better thing to do. Because we're just now meeting. However, we in Atlanta. We in America. We're in the world. And we all know things ain't always what they should be. It's not real safe out here to do certain things. So, going against the grain, doing something a little out of the ordinary as making your first date a double date may not be too bad for safety reasons. And let me be very clear. It's not that this man was physically unsafe. That's not what ended up happening. I want to make that very clear. So anyway, leading up to us going on the date. Now, because we're talking in this way, let me go, like, you told me that you've been studying me, looking at my Facebook, my TikTok. So you've been studying me. You see how I speak on here. You hear the topics. It's giving you a good insight as to how I think. But I ain't did that for you because you were married. So I had no reason. So let me go study you the way you've been studying me. And your TikTok, your content has really changed from what it was when you were married. I get it. Back then, you were talking about relationships, this, that, and the third, showing your relationship with your wife. I get it. Now you're no longer married to her. So now your videos are what I called thirst trapping. This ain't new news because I told him as well. You just out here thirst trapping. All the attention in the world that you could possibly get. You getting it because the women flocking to your TikTok posts. But why wouldn't they? You presenting yourself like that. And you making it, you also showing dates that you've been on since you've been divorced. And you lead with how you treat women on these dates. I think, let me insert this really quickly. I'm a very self-aware person. And I also know that most people are not. And people don't really know how they show up and how they move. And they don't really know that what they post and what they say is a real reflection of who they are, whether you faking it or not. And if it's a person that really goes below the surface, they know what it is. They know what it is. I may not have been able to connect all the dots before the date, but I was definitely able to connect all the dots afterwards. And this video is already long. And in order for me to talk about the rest of the date or whatever, it would have to be a series of videos. And I don't know if I'm going to do all of that. But I am going to tell y'all that when I did the video about God sending someone to tell you something, understand that we also, yes, God will send someone, but we also have to know. And we have to know that we have what it takes to discern and have clarity on our own as well. If we not getting it, he will send somebody, as he's done for me. But this was an experience of, Sheree, you got discernment and clarity way more than you think you do. And you know what? Tap into that. Don't throw it to the wayside. is there. So, like I said, I'm seeing these new videos he's posting, and it is thirst trapping at its finest. But he goes on, and we not together, we just talking or whatever. So do what you do. And if this is gonna build your TikTok following, and you trying to monetize this, do what you do, whatever. So, but not saying that I don't put that in the back of my head. But at the same time, he's telling me, yeah, I do this now. I'm single, whatever. But when I'm in a relationship, it's all about my woman. And I truly do believe him, because that's what it appeared to be when he was married. So I'm like, okay, cool. So the more we talk, I find out he initially was like, he ain't had nothing against his wife, no shade to her or whatever. But then he began to tell me what the issues were with his marriage. And yeah, you had some issues with her. And from what you saying, I okay, I I empathize with you or whatever. But then you go on and tell me that this is not your first marriage. You've actually been married before, and that's the only other marriage that you reference is the one that you had before to your child's mother. That's it. You don't tell me about anybody else. Now, I don't ask you how many times you've been married, because you've been forthcoming with the information. So I'm assuming those are the only marriages that you've ever had. So leading up to the date, everything was really great. I mean, conversation still great. Consistency very much there. He planned the date. All I had to do was show up. Yes, I drove myself to the restaurant because I don't know you. I understand that you don't live far, and we can Uber black. We can Uber white, green, or purple. I'm gonna drive my car to this location because it makes me feel like I'm more in control, and that's what I'm gonna do. So you act like you good with that. No problem. You understand. So that's what I do. You call me you text me, letting me know you're about to leave and that you'll meet me at the restaurant. When you get there, you text me and let me know how to get into the place, because it's in like a building. So you let me know how to get into the place, where to go, and you'll meet me there. Everything is great. So I pull in, we meet, you give me a gift. You give me a gift bag. There are flowers in the gift bag, and there's also a box. I ask you, do you want me to open it now or later, or can I put it in the car? You're like, no, you can go ahead and put it in the car. We have a reservation. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, because we don't want to be late for the reservation, and we got to get on the elevator, yada, 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 all this stuff. So I put it in the car. So prior to the date, I'm very aware that this man does content. He does a lot of content, like recording content, posted on his social media, on his TikTok, to show his experiences, his dates. He doesn't necessarily show the date's face, but he shows the place, the food, the menu, all of that. That's what you do. Now, I'm tell y'all off bat. I'm used to dating. I'm used to dating a certain type of dude, and the dudes that I date would never be recording nothing on no date. They would never be posting content like that to social media. They wouldn't. I'm not trying to hold it against that man. This is what you do, and I'm really trying to change my my mindset when it comes to men, because I'm used to dating a certain kind of man that ain't always been good for me. So let me change my mindset. You're different from them. But everybody always say, don't date your type. Don't. So you ain't my type at all. Because the dudes that I used to date, they real laid back, real reserved, real tight. I've been to the feds, and baby, listen, I was the peace in their storms. I'm the good girl. That's the bad guy. Yeah, that's what I'm used to. And what I'm used to don't get down like you. You real different. But I'm trying to be accepting of that. And then I'm trying to see perspective, because in the conversation, while he's doing all this recording, when I say he recording the whole spot, while you're doing all this, you end up telling me this is my hobby. I enjoy doing it because it shows my experiences and I can keep up with it. I'm from the streets of Miami. And I understand that Miami is not always what we see on social media. It ain't always South Beach, right? Some people from Miami, they know a whole different Miami than the ones that go and visit South Beach and the stuff that they show. I get that. So you tell me you're from the streets of Miami. You also go on to tell me that you didn't get your high school diploma till you was like 29 or 30. And I know that you now have an MBA. So I'm focused on the fact that, wow, you tell me that you were incarcerated when you were 18. I ain't even ask you why. I was just like impressed of the fact that you got your high school diploma so late in life, and now you have an MBA, which I know is not easy to get. So I'm like, okay, you really have overcome some stuff. So I'm just trying to, hey, take you all in. Take you all in. But I'm watching. And I've already told you, I'm very observant. And when I'm around my people, I show up one way. But when I'm out in public, around people I don't know, I'm different. Not in the essence of who I am is not the same. I'm still a kind-hearted person. I still am considerate. I'm still not selfish. All of that is who I am at the core. But when it comes to when I'm out and about, or I'm around people that I don't know like that, because let's be clear, yes, I've been talking to you for 2 weeks, but you're still a stranger. And I've told you, until I meet you in person, this ain't even reality for me yet, for real. So now we're making this reality. But you've taken me to a place that I don't know anything about. I don't know anybody here. Yes, a restaurant, but I've never been here. All these people, I don't know them. And sir, truthfully, I don't know you. So I am reserved. And I had already told you that I am reserved in that way. And you recording everything. And even though I have a TikTok following, and even though I have a presence on TikTok, not a big presence, but enough, I have a presence on TikTok. I don't do that. That ain't my thing. So when someone is constantly recording, when I go out, I don't record like that. When I try to, I don't even finish, because I'm like, man, let me put this phone up and go do what I'm doing. He's a total opposite. So you got to get used to that, because somebody constantly recording, even though they may not be recording your face, it can be overwhelming. And he's even spoken about that. So you know that. So if a person don't always get with it in the beginning, you should understand that. And I'm thinking that you okay. And I'm thinking that everything is okay. That's what I'm thinking. So we're there. Very nice restaurant. And understand something. I've already told this man that I'm a simple woman. I don't even need all this extraness. I don't even need, for me, I'm not a city girl. I'm not a Atlanta girl. I'm not a fake Atlanta girl. I've been here all of my life. I told him Longhorn, Olive Garden, Red Lobster, all of that is perfectly fine for me. But you want experiences. Okay. We can do the experiences. That's what you're looking for. Cool. That's what I'm going to do. However, that's not what I'm used to. That doesn't mean that I'm basic, as this man proceeded to call me. I said, and then he laughed it off. I laughed it off until you said it again. Hold on, ninja. I am not basic, and don't try to play me like you equating basic to being simple, because I'm a simple woman. I don't require a whole lot. However, I take care of me. And the way I take care of me, homeboy, with that hole in your shirt that I saw and didn't mention, you couldn't. You couldn't. You lead with this. You lead with that. And you claim it's because you like experiences. And you may. You may do all of this throughout your whole entire relationship. But what I see in you and what I'm starting to realize about you is what you don't want nobody else to see. You should have never, not ever, decided that you wanted to study a counselor. Because a real counselor ain't never on the surface. I've been studying you too. And little do you know, I done pulled your card. Because in the midst of the date, he goes on to say, I need to tell you something. And I'm like, okay. So then he jokingly says, I used to be a woman. This ain't the place to play like that. We in Atlanta, homeboy. But I don't believe you. Even though I ain't never used this word regarding a man. You got some tendencies. But hey, I'm just trying to date different. Ain't they what they said? Don't date your type. Because you hang around all women. All of your friends are women. And we've talked about that. All of your friends are women. You don't reference men that much at all. And we had a conversation about that prior to the date. And I said to him, because he was talking about his women friends are like old fashioned, and I said, you're not attracted to them. That's how you're able to be just their friend. You don't want them at your house. Y'all hang out. Y'all hang out. Y'all go out to eat. Y'all hookah, whatever. But they can't come to your house and kick it with you because you're not attracted to them. But they're probably attracted to you because you are an attractive man. You 6'3", okay, you are. And they're probably attracted to you. And that's the reason why when you get in a relationship and you put them to the wayside, they welcome you back into the fold. Because technically, they like you. But what you don't understand about me is I'm looking like, why are your friends females? And you saying they old fashioned, and you tell me you like pretty women and you don't necessarily consider them to be pretty. This was a conversation we had prior to us going. So when he said I used to be a woman, I don't believe you, but off the whole I used to be a woman thing. And truthfully, I don't believe him. So he goes on to tell me that he's like, how many times did I tell you I've been married? Twice. So then he said, well, I've actually been married 3 times. Okay. So I caught the fact that you lied to me, but I didn't say nothing. I didn't even judge you for it. And the reason I didn't judge you for it is because I know other people who have been married 3 times. Didn't make them a bad person. Truthfully, they just didn't pick good for themselves. So I'm not judging you. I just want to know, why do you think you've been married and divorced 3 times? And that's what. So he go on to tell me what happened in each of the marriages as to why they ended. And I'm like, okay, I understand it. No judgment here. And so we keep it moving. But we do engage in a conversation of, well, do you think you really need to take your time? Because he is always talking about marriage when it comes to him and I. And I actually sent him a text yesterday morning saying, even though the end goal for me is to be married, however, right now, I just want to learn you. I want to get to know you on a deeper level. So that way, this time, because now I'm thinking you only been married twice. This time, if marriage is something that we do, it doesn't end in divorce. Because I know who you are. You know who I am. I've studied you. You studied me. We've gone through the motions. I want to see you in different situations. You need to see me in different situations, in different environments. If you want to get something different, we got to do something different. That just is what it is. So no judgment at all. Just, why do you think it ended in divorce 3 times? No judgment. Didn't shun him, didn't anything. Had the conversation, moved on. So it was after this that we went back to talking about him and all the recording that he does. And that's when he lets me know that it's a hobby for him. And then I had a different perspective on why he does it. And the fact that, he's from Miami, and a lot of people he know from back there, they still in Miami, still doing the same thing or not doing any better. And he was like, I'm having experiences that I want to record. So later in life, when I want to look back on the things that I've done, I got something to show for it, not just, the memories in my head. I got that. I get it. Listen, if it makes sense, I'm going with it. I love common sense. So if it makes sense, I'm going with it. So now that I have a different perspective on why you do what you do, it's not as overwhelming to me. So I let you do what you do. And as we get ready to leave, you are still recording. And as I'm walking off, you're recording. So I was like, let me just give him something to record. Not that it was, let me show a little leg, give you a little shoulder. Nothing like that. Just, I'm walking off. You're showing me walking off. I know I'm cute. So, or not cute because I'm too old to be cute. But I look pretty. And so, yeah, I go on and give you something to see, because the restaurant, as you're leaving, it's a tunnel and they have these red lights, and it is like, it's a scene. It's a scene. And so me walking through there and you recording it, that's a scene. Put that in your video. So we go on. He walks me to my car and he's like, okay, now you have to open the gift. So I was like, okay, cool. So I open it. I open the gift. I see the flowers, and then it's just a box. And he's like, wait, before you open the box, look at the top. On the top of the box, it says, y'all, I can't remember. It's a keepsake box. It says something about how our story started. It gave like the date that we actually started conversing on the phone, and talked about the story about us or something like that. He's written that on this box. It's a pink box from Hallmark, tie up, really cute. I thought it was the sweetest. And he was like, for the next 12 months, we're going to put stuff in this box to show like our dates and what we did and all of this stuff. I thought, oh my God, when I tell y'all, I was so in love with this idea. I thought it was the sweetest. Not to mention, I do journaling. So I had already told him, I'm going to get a journal and I'm going to journal where we going and what we doing if we end up in a relationship. I'm going to just journal it. Hadn't bought the journal. I should have took that as something, but I hadn't bought the journal. So when he gave me the box, it was along the same lines of what I said I was going to do, just in a different way. I was in love with the idea. So we hugged, went our separate ways. He let me know, call him when I got home. My ride home was 45 minutes. Cool. Rode home. Got home, got in my garage. I am that girl. When I get home, I'm sitting in that garage. You hear me? I'm going to sit there for a minute because let me decompress, because I just drove home almost an hour. So let me just decompress. And it's through Atlanta traffic. So if you know, you know. So I sit there. So I'm like, let me go back to his TikTok, because maybe he's made the video, because you only live 2 minutes from the restaurant, so you've had time to do the video, and you say you're gonna do it when you get home. So I'm like, let me go look at the video. Now I really want to see how this came out. How did I show up in the video? So when I go there, I see he hasn't posted the video, but I continue to scroll because, again, like I said, I'm watching your videos to kind of get an idea of you, to study you, to see what you're talking about. So I'm scrolling. I've watched a lot of videos of his at this point, as he's done with me. And so I'm like, let me just scroll. I scroll and happen to fall upon a video where you did this same keepsake box concept for your ex-wife. Oh, so this is not special to me. This is what you do. Okay. So I'm immediately like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do this. Don't do what you did with somebody else. I don't want this relationship to reflect your relationship with her. I want it to reflect us. And when you doing the same, and don't get me wrong, I know there are some things that are going to be the same. As I told him, like, if y'all went to Jamaica and we go to Jamaica, if y'all went to North Carolina and we go to North Carolina, if y'all went to the movies and we go to the movies, I mean, yeah, that stuff is understandable. But this was something unique, supposed to be something special, something different. You don't do that. This is not something you would do with everybody unless it's your thing. And apparently, this is what you do. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't want to do this. Keep that with her. That's what you did with her. I don't want to do that. I want to do what we gonna do with us. So I text him, because he had texted me a picture of one picture that he had taken of us. So I text him and let him know that I was home. And I let him know, hey, I stumbled upon a video. I didn't even say who he did it for. He know who he did it for. So I said, I stumbled upon this video where you did the same thing. I don't necessarily want to do that. Like, I'm good on that. And I thought the idea was really, really special, really cute, really unique. But I realized that it wasn't unique. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm good on that. So we had already talked about the fact that he don't sit on top of his phone. So some time passed and I know you don't get to text. So I was like, let me call him to let him know that I actually got home. So I called him and I let him know that I actually got home. And he was like, you good? I said, did you see my text? I said, apparently you haven't seen my text. So he reads the text. When he reads the text, he immediately gets off the phone. I'll give you your space. You got to digest this. I get it. So I still remain sitting in my car because I'm still decompressing. Because now I got to decompress from the Atlanta drive. I got to decompress from seeing this and your reaction to it in this moment. I'm still sitting in my car. Eventually, you do call me back and we begin to discuss it. And baby, that's when the story really gets good. Because you try to act like you're all understanding of why I feel the way that I feel. But you're not. Because then you start to flip it on me. Well, weren't you going to journal this anyway? Yeah, I was, but I haven't even bought the journal. Well, what's the difference? Do you keep things in a keepsake box? Don't do that. Don't do that. Because let me show you how you're trying to make this appear. I'm going to flip it and I'm going to put it on me, not on you. Have I ever purchased a journal, gave it to a man and said, here, journal our journey, our relationship. Talk about the things that we do, the ups and the downs. Put it all in the journal. And when we have been doing this for 12 months, we're going to go back and we're going to look at it and see how far we've come or the things that we've done. Look at the memories that we've made. Have I ever given a journal to a grown man? No. No. That was going to be for me. I didn't give it to you. It was going to be for me. You, my brother, have purchased a keepsake box just like the one you gave me, and told this person to do the exact same thing. And we were going to go back and look at it in 12 months, just like y'all did. Don't do this. Don't do this. Because what he's not realizing is you really showing me who you are, and you're connecting all of the dots for me. Yeah. Part 4 is coming. So I was really going to take a break from recording this because the 3 videos I've already recorded, I recorded them back to back to back. But since the fire hot, might as well keep it going. So now you done tried to flip the whole keepsake box situation. You done tried to flip it on me to make it look like I'm wrong for feeling the way that I do. Okay, we're going to keep it moving. So then you go on to talk about everything that I did wrong that night. Everything. Because, sir, apparently I am horrible. You say I criticize everything you do. I wasn't happy about nothing. I said that I was just simple and I've never been to places like this. Again, he calls me basic. Baby, okay. When I tell you this man went in on me and me being the woman that I am, I did not give it back to him. Could I have? Baby, straight no chaser. But I didn't. Because I recognized something. I recognized something that I still didn't even reveal to him. Because he had nothing good to say. Nothing. Acted like I criticized him, said I criticized him all night long, but he didn't do that to me. You may not have criticized me all night long, but you saved it and you using it as ammo right now. But let me tell y'all the things that he was upset that I was criticizing him about. He said the first thing was his cell phone. He has an iPhone. I don't care what kind of phone you got. He had no case on it. I said, why you don't have a case on your phone? He said, he a grown man. He don't need nobody to worry about why he ain't got no case on his phone. He can, if he know the consequences if it break, if he drop it. Oh, okay. I was just asking because most people have a case on their phone to prevent breaking it when it drops. That was the first thing. Second thing was he's a vegetarian, or so he say. He don't eat meat. So when he ordered a soup that had meat in it, it got to the table when he wasn't there. Because this place had like a bar, several different like buffet bars type situation. But it was a Korean barbecue place too, right? So it had several different buffet bars. And so he was at the buffet bar when the soup came to the table. And I noticed there's meat in the soup. So I'm like, can he eat this? So I asked him, are you okay to eat that? And he said, yeah, he wasn't going to eat the meat. And I was like, oh, because for me, as I explained to him, my mother and my brother, they don't eat beef. If they eat anything that even touches beef, they going to be sick as a dog. So I'm like, you can drink the broth or whatever that is out of that soup, even though it has meat in it and it doesn't make you sick. That was my thought. I didn't say that to him, but that was my thought. Like, I don't want you to get sick, but this has meat in it or whatever. And it wasn't like, hey, dog, you better not eat that because it got meat in it. You going to be throwing up like a... It wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. It was, this has meat in it. Are you okay to eat it? But according to him, he don't want no woman that's going, no, don't do that. Don't do that. He grown. He been living this life for 45 years. He know what he doing. Okay. But when I tell y'all, I was taken aback. I said, so you don't want no woman to look out for you? But you say you, even though now I know you've been married 3 times, you want to be married again. Do you know what a wife is? Because you always run around here talking about, I'm a husband. That he leads. I'm a husband. Whether I'm married or not, I'm a husband. And I get that dialogue. I get that sentiment, rather. I get that. Because as a woman, like Pastor Flower says, in the sermon that I referenced in the video that everybody's watching right now, in that sermon, he talks about women are 4 categories. You're a sister, you're an unbeliever, you're a sister, you're a mother, you're an unbeliever, or you're a wife. Whether or not you're married or not, you're a wife. So I understand when you're saying to me you're a husband, no matter if you're married or not, I get that. Because at least I thought, like, sometimes I'm like, I am a wife, but sometimes I just want to be a single. That's it. So I say to him, a wife is a helpmate. I'm going to look out for you. I'm going to look out for you. You don't have a phone. You don't have a case on your phone. Okay. Is there a reason? Like, I don't want you to drop your phone and break it. This soup got meat in it. You're a vegetarian. Will that make you sick? You don't want nobody to do that for you? Sir, you're weird. You're weird. But I don't even say that to him. Just a thought. He keep talking about he a grown man and, he can take care of himself. But he said, I was being critical. And these are the only things that you named. No, it wasn't. Because because of the fact that you recorded a lot, but we already talked about it. We already talked about the fact that that can make people feel uncomfortable. It can be overwhelming for people. You even said it when we were there. So when I react in that way, it's a problem. And then I said, but when I understood why you do it and I understood the perspective, then I kind of changed up the way I was moving with it. But you don't note that. You only note the fact that I was uncomfortable. And can I keep telling y'all that this joker done called me basic? And now he done went on to call me plain Jane. Sir, I am really saving your feelings right now. I am really, even though you trying to come for me as hard as you can, I am saving your feelings. Because in the past, I have dated men. My daughter, her father, he will tell you to this day, I said something to this man before my daughter was born that he's still having a hard time getting over. You don't want this. I promise you, you don't want this. Because I said before my daughter was born, I said that. My daughter, 14 years old. Words hurt and they can last. You don't want them. You don't want these words with me. So I'm still trying to be understanding, trying to hear where you're coming from. All while you throwing that dagger in my back, baby, and you turning it. You are turning it because I'm like, you really don't like me. You really did not enjoy yourself. All for him to say, I had a great time with you. I really F with you. Like, I really had a great time with you. You did? Was I there? I couldn't have been. Because the person that you're describing on this phone, you couldn't have had a great time with her. Because you ain't had nothing good to say about how I showed up at all. You wanted me just to come in, experience it, sit down, shut up, act like you already been there. But I ain't never been there. So how am I act? Oh, you want a faker. That's what you used to. Maybe that's because that's what you do. I don't get down like that. I ain't never been here. And I don't really know you. So I'm going to operate in that. You not going to get the free for all charade. Because I ain't never that anyway. But no, I don't know you. I don't know these people. This is my first time here. I'm going to enjoy myself to the best of my ability. Once I get to know you and I feel really comfortable with you, you will get something different. But right now, sir, you're going to get the reserve me, the observant me. Because the same way you was clocking me, I was clocking you. So I went on to tell him, I'm not apologizing for trying to look out for you. But I am going to tell you that you don't want a wife. Because that's what a wife does. That ain't what you want. You want to do what you want to do. Because that's what you're saying. So then, because I've made the friends that we were going to go on the double date with, he was like, oh, so that's how you going to spend this? So you can tell your friends? What? I said, oh, well, maybe I'm hearing it wrong. Did I hear you wrong? Because this is what I heard you say. And if this is not what you said, tell me what it is that you said. Correct me. I don't have a problem with being corrected. I don't have a problem with saying that I was wrong. Tell me what it is you want me to hear and understand. Not for me to go back to tell my friends, just so I can have an understanding of what the hell you talking about. But I let him get all of that out. I'm a counselor. I listen. I let you get all of that out. So now it's my turn. You want to talk about I was critical of you all night long. I had all of these different things that I was uncomfortable with that I never even said that I was. But that's what you picked up on. I was critical because I didn't want you to drop your phone without a phone case. I was critical because I didn't want you to eat the soup with the meat in it because you're a vegetarian. I was critical. Let me tell you what I could have been critical about, but I didn't. So since we always transparent and honest, let me hit you with this and get your thoughts. If I'm so critical, if I have done nothing but judged you all night long, when you told me that you have actually been married 3 times and not 2, why I wasn't so critical then? Because that was the time. That was the time. Well, what you got to say about it then, Sheree? That was the time. I'm just saying. I said, no, you tell me. What did I say? When you said that to me, what did I say? Did I judge you? I simply asked, why do you think you've been married and divorced 3 times? Where do you think it went wrong? That's it. When you told me, we ran with it. Now, I could have been critical of the fact that you lied. This is us always being honest and transparent, because those are the two words that we use quite often in our conversation. I said, I didn't lie to you. I didn't. Omission is a lie, big dog. It's a lie. And then it's me. I didn't ask him. You only mentioned me being married twice. Hold on. I didn't only mention you being married twice. I can only reference the marriages that you told me about. Had you told me about the third marriage, I would have referenced it. No, you only told me you've been married twice. Sir, if you still here, and if you're not catching up on what I'm putting down, I'm going to give it to y'all in the very end what this is. Mind you, I'm a counselor. Yes, I'm a school counselor, but our training, whether you a clinician or a school counseling, a lot of our training is the same. Do I diagnose? No. Y'all be worried about how y'all want to diagnose everybody. It's because a lot of y'all got something. And so does he. But anyway, I say, if I was going to be critical, why I wasn't critical of that? That gave me every right to be critical, right? Because you lied. You lied, and you've been married 3 times. If I was going to judge you for something, because, hey, we always talk about don't judge, but the Bible say we could judge righteously. Meaning, I can judge you on stuff that the Bible say you shouldn't do that I'm also not doing. I ain't been married 3 times, bruh. I've been married 1, and I've been divorced for 16 years. In my 16 years of being divorced, you've been married 3 times. So if I was going to be critical and judge you on something, don't you think that would be it? But I didn't. I didn't. But then we can have a conversation about it. You want to talk about it? What you want to talk about? No, because even me bringing it up, you done tried to glance over it. You done tried to flip it and make it my fault. You done did all the things that I noticed. This whole conversation, this man has been dogging me, okay? And on the other side, telling me how much he had a great time with me, telling me how much he effed with me, but also saying, you want to continue, but you don't think we should go out on another date anytime soon. Because if I go out on a date with you, and that's if, if I go out on a date with you, and that's a big old if. Oh, and let me throw in there, he told me, because I F with you, but my roster is long. It's about 60 women who try. You go get all 60 of them, homeboy. All of them. Won't bother me at all. At all. Please go clear out your roster. Date every one of them for the next 60 days. Sir, your self-esteem so low. You couldn't pick it up. You couldn't scrape it off the ground with a shovel. With an ice pick. You couldn't scrape that self-esteem off the ground with the sharpest knife. Because it's stuck to the ground. Your self-esteem is low. That's why you thirst trapping on TikTok. That's why your dates are as extravagant as they are. Because one thing Pastor Flower said in that sermon that I referenced in the video that everybody is watching right now, the sermon is called Clarity, and it's about how godly men show up. It's on YouTube. Go Google it. He talks about what godly men are. And he is talking to women when he say, them bills he paying are yours, taking you on trips, that's what husbands do. This man do that on dates. So that's what you lead with. Because you ain't confident enough to just lead with you. You're not enough. Because I said I'm simple. I don't need the rooftop lounge or the rooftop restaurant in the city of Atlanta. I'm from here. That don't impress me. I said I'm simple. I'm 45 years old. You equated me being a simple woman who don't require all of that to being basic And like I told him, we both know when a person references someone as, oh, that's a basic B, that's a basic N, we know that that's derogatory. Quit trying to play with me. And I told him, you done tried to gaslight me through this whole conversation. I did tell him that. I ain't going no further though. But let me tell y'all something. What I learned. If you ever meet a man or a woman and they have extremely low self-esteem, and it's not enough for them to just lead with them, it always has to be what they can do for you and how they show up. Watch yourself. Narcissism is not a buzzword. Narcissistic is not a buzzword. It is a very real thing. And what people do not realize is it is rooted and grounded in extremely low self-esteem. That's what people don't realize. Because these people show up very grandiose, like bigger than life. They can do this, they can do that. They appear to have all of the confidence in the world. And they will knock down everybody in front of them to make themselves look good. They will go to whatever extent to make themselves look good. And unfortunately, that extent can be very hurtful to other people. And because this disorder is hard to treat it, that's why we see it running rampant. Even though I listen to Jerry Flowers, I also attend 2819. Haven't been there in a while, but I have attended several times. And one of the reasons why I even chose to attend 2019 was because in one of the videos that I saw from Pastor Philip, he said something about narcissism. I had never heard a preacher say narcissism in the pulpit, never before. And I was like, oh. And he was like, it's going to show up in the end times. We're there. That's why it's not a buzzword. It is very prevalent. It's running rampant. And what this man didn't realize is you narcissistic, classic bookcase of narcissism. All in the same breath. You criticizing me, dogging me out, and telling me what a great time you had and how you F with me. But you only hang around women because they feed your ego. But you dump them as soon as you get a girlfriend or a wife. You dump them, only to go back into the fold when that doesn't work out for you. And they accept you back, and they stroke your ego. I didn't say these things to him, because if you know anything about narcissists, they ain't never ready to hear it. And he felt like he was right. So I'm going to let you be right. Because what it ends up being in the end is you will never get what you're looking for. You want unconditional love, but you don't even think you deserve it. That's why you lead with what you can do and not who you are. I think I'm at the end. If I have any other thoughts, I'll let y'all know. This has been 4 videos. That's enough. Y'all have a good day. Good morning, y'all. So by now, a number of people have seen my video series about I went on a date. And I want to thank all the women. If there were men who showed up to the comments and I overlooked you, I am so sorry. I was not trying to, but I don't think that there were any men. But I do want to thank all the women that showed up and engaged in the video with me. I only had to block one person, and that is good because, you know, people get on these videos and they want to tell you what you shoulda, coulda, woulda done and how they would have handled it. And 9 times out of 10, they would have done none of the things. But I only had one person do that, and so I blocked that person. But everybody else just really engaged. And it was, you know, good conversation, and I appreciate y'all for that. But I am a very transparent person. I am an open book. And I believe that I am that way because God consistently, continually gives me testimony after testimony after testimony. And testimonies are to be shared. Understanding, though, that in order to have a testimony, you got to go through something. And it ain't always easy. And let me tell y'all, as I was sharing those videos, I was really going through it. Not because of him. Not because of him. And I'm going to tell y'all why I wasn't going through it because of him. But I was going through it because I was like, God, we did this already. I've been through this. I know what narcissism looks like. I've dealt with it. I've overcome it. I've learned from it. Why are we doing this again? And so my oldest daughter was like, Mom, sometimes it's not about why. Sometimes it's what. What is God trying to get out of you? What does God want you to share from it? What does he need you to tell his people by allowing you to go through the experience? I was like, yeah, you're right. And I said, but I have asked, what do you want from me? I have asked that because I'm like, I wasn't even looking for nobody. I wasn't on a dating site. I wasn't out here dating. I was literally under my rock, minding my business. And even though I knew of this man, I did not know this man. And he had been around for over a year. So trust me, it was dressed up to look like this was of God. It really was. But let me tell y'all what you have to do in order to not get caught up. So I reference Pastor Jerry Flowers all the time, and that's because I have learned so much under that man's teachings. And one of the things that he has said often is wisdom is applied knowledge. We can have knowledge all day long, but if you do not apply it to your experiences, it's a waste. So even though, as I said in those videos, I am a counselor. Yes, I am. I am a counselor by trade, I guess. But one thing I often say is people take on their careers as their identities. Being a counselor, we kind of have to, because it's not just what we do, it's who we are. And if you have been called to this work, you do this work in every capacity of your life. Like, not just when you're in the office or at the school or wherever you do the work. It's applied in every part of your life. But wisdom comes with experience. And a lot of counselors are wisdom filled. That's how we are effective. But understanding, that's why they say a counselor need a counselor a lot of the times. Because we go through a lot to gain the experience and the knowledge to be effective in the work that we do. I also have to be like that just in general, because God constantly has me on assignments with his children. But with all of that being said, ultimately, what I want you all to take away is something that I did not say in those videos. I've been talking about conflict and not knowing what to do in situations. I've been talking about that in the last few videos or whatever. Conflict and not knowing what to do in situations. When it comes to dating, and this is for men and women, but especially for women, and I'm going to tell y'all why it's especially for y'all in a minute. But when it comes to dating, I am celibate. I have been celibate for a while. Celibacy is not something that's new to me. I do it quite often and have done it for years at a time. I'm years in now. I do it because it allows me to have clarity. Ultimately, it's because that's what God tells us to do. Even when we fall off, get back on it. Ultimately, it's what God tells us to do. However, it allows for clarity. It allows you to be able to see people when they are showing themselves and when they ain't. It allows you to see the red flags, catch them, hold on to them. You may need to stick around a little bit longer. I'm not saying when you see the red flag, exit stage left immediately, because I don't know what your assignment is. Sometimes God keeps you there, but he keeps you covered. Sometimes he keeps you there because it's something that he needs you to get out of it, but he keeps you covered. But do not catch those red flags, throw them under a rug, and keep it moving like you never saw it. And when you are celibate, abstinent, whatever we calling it, I don't really care what y'all call it, just do it. Whenever you are that, it allows you to see people for truly who they are, because you're using your head. You're thinking with your head, not your heart. Your heart should be leaned towards God anyway. So if you're doing it that way, it allows you to see things that you may not see. It doesn't allow you to get caught up. It also doesn't create the strings that keep you emotionally attached to someone who is not good for you. So when people are on these apps telling you, well, if you're celibate, don't tell the man, just tell them. Tell them. If you're a man or if you're a woman, tell them up front. Tell them. Lead with that. Whatever they lead them with, let them lead with that. But you lead with that, and you let them know I'm standing my ground on it. You let them know this is what you're doing, what your expectations are behind it. Because one of the things that this guy even said I was critical of was because I wouldn't drive to his apartment, park in his apartment's garage, and we Uber to the restaurant together because I wanted to drive my car. I was critical. No, I wasn't critical. I'm celibate. And because I'm celibate, I handle myself a certain way. My car going to the restaurant with me in it. And when it leave the restaurant, it's going home to my house, not yours. I don't put myself in certain situations. So I wasn't being critical of you. I was covering me. And I know, and I've heard it so many times, women, you cannot sleep with a man and think there's no attachment. I'm sorry, it just does not work that way. We're not built that way. We are receivers. So when you receive that man, what he got going on, he leave behind with you. We are receivers. So once we receive him, the emotional attachment is there, whether you want to admit it or deny it. And I can tell. I got a friend who swears she can sleep with somebody and it ain't nothing. Baby, I can tell you're stagnant. You're stagnant. And I won't get into all of that because that's her business. But, and I've told a little bit of it, enough of it. But you're stagnant. We're not built like that. So when you receive a man, understand that you're attached to him emotionally, whether you want to be or not. And that does not allow you to break away the way you need to when you need to. But if you keep your legs closed to married men and unmarried men, it'll help you not be that way. And men, do the same. Because y'all can get caught up too. It's some narcissistic women out there. There's some old trifling women out there, honey. So, listen, keep your legs closed to married and unmarried women too. It helps you make better decisions. It helps you get out of these situations unscathed. And if you end up in a situation like me, you're like, well, God, why are we here? Just ask him what he wants you to do with it. Because that's what I'm doing. And in time, he'll let me know. And maybe this was it. I don't know. Oh, lastly, there was someone who asked me, would I show the man so other women could be aware? And some of you may be wondering, will I show him? And you just didn't ask. I'm going to tell you what I told her. Let me pray on it. Because I never want to do anything with ill intent. I never want it to be malicious and I'm showing it just to get back at him. I want it to be because I am trying to protect someone from somebody like him. But at the same time, also, there's the empath in me understanding that man is already going through it. Some people are their own worst enemies. And even though he may be thinking he living a high life and all of that, baby, on the inside, you toe up. You are. That's why you do what you do. So I don't know that I will show him. Let me pray on it. Now, I just said I wasn't going to do this. I just said I was just going to block y'all. And TikTok actually made me approve your comment. So it knew that we weren't doing this foolishness. But I approved it because I wanted to answer your questions. And since you had the audacity, I keep telling people it's been on sale since the 70s. And y'all buy it like it's buy one, get one free. So since you had the audacity to type it, I'm going to have the audacity to respond. And since you tried to say, oh, no shade, but then in the end, what people can't say is you called me naive. And sis, baby, I'm black. We'll never be sisters. We'll never be sisters. Maybe in God's eyes. But anyway. So I'm going to take this step by step. Because I can tell that your comprehension is not what it should be at your big age. So I'm going to take it step by step. Let's go. No shade, but all the shade. But if you're so good, wasn't looking to date, let me address that. Normally, when I'm ready to date, when I'm looking to date, I get myself on a dating site and I go on dates and I meet people. That's normally what I do. I wasn't on a dating site. I wasn't out here giving my number out. I wasn't doing any of that. If you go back and look at any of my videos, it'll show you what my life has been like. I was taking my daughter on college tours, vacations. I wasn't doing any of that. That's why I said I was good and I wasn't looking to date. That doesn't mean just because what I'm not looking to do, God isn't looking to do. The door is always open for what God wants to do in my life. His plans ain't my plans. So just because I wasn't looking to date, I wasn't out there dating. You get it? Next thing. Why would you think a man who just came out of a marriage, a man who you gave your number to and didn't know his real name? How many real names of people do you know on social media? A lot of people post on social media and don't have their real names. I didn't have his real name and I made that very clear so people would understand. I wasn't checking for this man. He was a married man when I first encountered him or he first encountered me. So I had no reason to know his real name. For what? He was somebody else's husband. So I had no reason. Me and him weren't engaging in that way. So I just went, I didn't even call him the name he got on TikTok. I didn't call him nothing. I had no reason to. And just because he just came out of a marriage, when did I say he came out of a marriage the day before he contacted me? That's not what I said at all. I didn't say that. I never indicated how long that man had been divorced. I said the early part of last year was when I knew he was married. So that meant any time in 2024, that man could have gotten a divorce. Anytime. He didn't reach out to me and say anything to me about being single until June of 2025. So even if he got divorced in December of 2024, 6 months later is when he reached out to me. People get divorced and be with somebody while they're separated before the divorce is even final. People start dating before their divorces are even final. So the fact that this man was at least, we're going to give him at least being divorced in December. The fact that he did not reach out to me until June was 6 months. How long you know people to wait around before they start dating? And frankly, it ain't your business. They can do what they want to do. You don't get to depict when people can and cannot date coming out of a marriage. That ain't your job. Just like this wasn't either. But yet here we are. And so what? I gave my number to him. I've given my numbers to family members that shouldn't have had it. And all it takes is a change of a phone number. Y'all put too much weight on that number, baby. Because the way my phone be looking, my number get given out to people I ain't never even met before, don't even know exist. Just a week ago, I woke up to my number being included in a group chat from a spam person. Somebody I know I didn't give my number to. I looked it up and my number was listed with several others and I don't know these people. So a number don't mean nothing these days. I got my phone set up to block unknown numbers because people are constantly calling my phone to give me something I ain't never even asked for. Texting me. So a number don't mean nothing. You putting too much weight on that. Please stop being this slow, y'all. Please. Ellie, I'm not going to say y'all. Ellie, don't be this slow, baby. Don't. You have no idea the entire situation. What you did was what a lot of people do. You listen to respond and not comprehend. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. But basically what you should have done was listen to the entire series. The video clearly said part 1. So that must have meant that there were more parts to follow. So you should have listened to the entire series before you formulated an opinion of me being naive. Because one thing you would have learned was that I'm not that. But I'm also not the 1 or the 2 or the 3. Please don't play with me. So yesterday I told my children to just give me some time today because I've been ripping and running for them for the last few days. So I told them to just let me relax. So that means I got time today. Let me just give you a piece of advice because you think because you've had experiences that makes you mature or wise. It doesn't. Experience without growth is just that, an experience. We need to grow. And it's reflective in what you say that you're having experiences, but your growth is stunted. And I'm going to prove to you what I mean. You said my big old age has a lot of experience. In this context, you did use the word a lot properly. However, you did not recognize that the word a lot is 2 separate words, a then lot. So you've had an experience with the word, but there was no growth because otherwise you would have spelled it correctly. See, I hadn't even posted this. I just recorded it and put it in my drafts. I went to look at my comments and you over there fighting for your life. You didn't have to because you didn't have to say what you said. But yet in the video where you fighting for your life, you still did what I said. You still did what people like you do. You didn't listen to the video. You not even responding to what I said in the video. You in there fighting for your life. You in there trying to prove that you're somebody's sister. Because you in there talking about you from Philly and the city of brotherly love. They ain't say nothing about sisterly. But I call everybody sister. Girl, please. What you thought was nobody was going to catch your backhanded compliment. And it was caught. That's what you thought. And your comment to that video, it didn't show up. TikTok actually said that it was unavailable. So I thought you deleted it. You were now telling people I deleted your comment and then call me messy. See, you don't learn. You do not. Again, you have experiences, but there's no growth. Because you in there calling me or the lady who you were talking to messy, but you so sisterly. That's not sisterly, sweetheart. That's not sisterly at all. So stop using that word out of context because you're using it to be underhanded. You're using it to be backhanded. And you thought somebody was just going to let it slide. Well, baby, this ain't slip and slide over here. It's the summer, but we not playing in the water. I don't do that over here. I promote kindness on my page and I try to be as kind as possible, but I do not promote nice. And that's what you thought this was going to be. I don't do nice over here. Go watch my videos. Just like one of my sisters said in the comment, she knew here. She can't be a follower because if you were, you would know. You would know. I promote kindness. I do not promote nice. Don't do this. You can bow out of these comments right now. Or I may do you a favor and block you so you don't even see it because I'm not trying to ruin your Saturday. You did a good job of that yourself. Hey, look, I ain't saying I don't agree with you. Let me be very clear. I understand that when I put my business out there, I open myself up to public scrutiny. I'm not saying that, but y'all got to understand when you comment on somebody's stuff and you give your unwarranted opinion, you put yourself out there to get the backlash. Look, I didn't write the game. I just play it. Not to mention, this is a two-way street. Just decide which lane you going to get in. And it's better not to get in mine because when I open my mouth, most of the time, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I be trying to control my tongue, and I think I do a really good job because I don't cuss y'all all the way out. And I really can. I do know how. I just choose not to. I know how to cuss. I do. I just choose not to because if I cuss you out, you're going to really think I'm bad and TikTok going to ban me and I ain't got time for that. I really don't. So I try not to cuss y'all out, but I do know how to do the razzle dazzle. I just choose not to. Understand something. It is a science to this. I didn't write it. For every action, there's a reaction. I just be reacting. And sometimes the reaction come out the way it do. And I could just block y'all. And a lot of people I do block. I just started doing that. But Ellie didn't. She caught a stray maybe. I don't know what it was. I had just woke up. And, when you woke up, you don't have all your senses together, So I had just woke up and I saw her coming and it was like, oh, that's what we doing? Okay, that's fine. I ain't planning to do nothing else today anyway. So she just caught it. But y'all don't realize that. Y'all think y'all can say whatever. And I told y'all, Audacity is on sale. Don't buy your Audacity and come to my house because it's not welcome. And I got Audacity too. I just don't use it like that. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I got Audacity, to be honest. I don't get down like that. I just don't. I don't go in people's comments and just be talking all slick at the mouth. I don't do that. For what? For why? What purpose is that serving? So just understand, if you going to give your opinion, she was in the comments fighting for her life. Girl, go on like one of my regular TikTok followers told her. Go on. She in the comments telling people she from Philly and she believe in brotherly, sisterly love. Baby, don't nobody care. Nobody cares. But here she is. And I promise y'all, I be trying to deliver this in love. That's why I took a shower. I told y'all I was in the house for the day. I took a shower and put my heart gown on. Because I don't be trying to embarrass y'all. I really be trying to deliver it in love. I love love. I do. And I don't be trying to embarrass y'all, but y'all be embarrassing yourselves. And I ain't got nothing to do with it.